Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Ram. Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Ram. Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Ram. Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Ram. Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Ram. Krishna Krishna.
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is Wednesday. It is 20th of November. It is Margasesha Masa or Keshava Masa, Krishna Paksham and Panchami Tithi. So there are no Vaishnavas in the calendar. So we shall quickly move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, so Sukadeva Goswami describing the description of Vaikuntha. And so when the Lord showed his Vaikuntha planet to Lord Brahma, after Brahma's meditation, so this Vaikuntha planet is very beautifully filled with all the devotees of the Lord. So Syamavadataha Satapatralochanaha Pishangavastraha Suruchaha Supeshashaha Sarve Chaturbaha Udmishanmani Praveka Nishkabaranaha Suvachyasaha Pravala Vaidurya Brunalavachasaha Parispurat Kundala Mauli Malinaha. So likewise, all the devotees of the Lord, the male devotees are described, and also uh, the women devotees are also being described, like a Brajishni Biriha Parito Virajate Lasad Vimana Avalavihi Mahatmana Vidyotamanaha Pramudottamadjibihi Savijid Abravalibihi Yatanabaham. Just like a lightning in the clouds, the women are appearing in along with their husbands in these aeroplanes, in the Vaikuntha planes, all airplanes, and the Vaikuntha planet it is filled with so many of these airplanes. Parito Virajate, filled with airplanes. Brajishni Bariha Parito Virajate. Lasat Vimana Avalibihi, Vimanas, so many airplanes. All these Vimanas, everything is of conscious of nature. All are Brahmana Kaivalyam Eva Murtimat. So there is no materialistic of nature. So how do we perceive that one in this material world? So for example, everything is a consciousness. For example, if we are celebrating any festival, but there though we are, for example, Shri Ramanavami, when the Lord's birthday, Shri Ramchandra's birthday is celebrating, devotees bring so many of plantain trees. Plantain trees are consciousness, and they will also bring branches of the jumbo tree, so the berries tree, which is a different. And then for all auspiciousness, everything is of lively flowers. They are still living, though they will be living for a short time in our material world, but here in the spiritual world, they are eternal. So everything is of consciousness. We don't put any plastic or ready-made things to decorate the deities. But here, and our bodies, we are all engaged in the service of the Lord. We are all consciousness. And flowers and trees and branches, leaves, these are all consciousness here as well. But the nature of level of consciousness, it varies. But however, due to the conditioned nature of this material world, but we would say uh, it is very short time. But in the spiritual world, because everything is consciousness, there is no time influence. Everything is always manifested fully. So there is no kind of time influence on the trees and plants, but everything is of full consciousness, full of bliss, knowledge, and mm, happiness. So likewise, all the souls engaged in the service of the Lord. And here Vimanas are also consciousness. So the souls, they come together and form like a uh, airplanes. So it is just there everything is flexible. And sometimes we also see some Mother Yashoda is putting milk on the stove, then milk is also consciousness. Mother Yashoda asks that milk, have you boiled enough? Then milk also answers. And if Mother Yashoda is cooking the rice, and then if she asks the rice, have you cooked so far? Then rice also answers. So something like that, devotee is also described. So everything is of the conscious nature. So in that way, Sukadeva Goswami describing further about the now describing about the goddess of fortune, how she is serving the supreme personality of Godhead while singing the glories of his different pastimes. At that time, even though the bumblebees are just moving, and they're also coming there. Bumblebees, they're all singing Harikatha. Brungadipe Harikatha Miva Gayamani. So when they are also singing, they're also competing it with Goddess of Fortune. So when the movement of Goddess of Fortune and the bumblebees, it is so beautiful. Likewise, uh, Sukadeva Goswami is describing. So we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto. Um, Second canto, chapter 9, verse number 14. So for this verse, there is no purport. श्रीर्यत्र रूपिणि मुरुगाय पादयोः करोति मानं बहुधा विभूतिभिः प्रेङ्कं श्रिताय कुसुमागुरानुगैः विगीयमान प्रियकर्म गायति श्रीर्यत्र रूपिणि मुरुगाय पादयोः Shrihi is the goddess of fortune. Yatra in those Vaikuntha planets. Rupini in her transcendental form. Shri Yatra Rupini, so goddess of fortune in her transcendental form in the Vaikuntha planet. Urugaya Padayoho. Urugaya is the supreme personality of Godhead who is sung by the great devotees. Urugaya Padayoho, she is always under the lotus feet of the Lord. Shri Rupini Urugaya Padayoho Karoti Manam, and Karoti she does with respectful services. Karoti Manam, it's so much of respect. Bahuda Vibhuti Bihi, in diverse paraphernalia accompanied by her personal associates. Bahuda Vibhuti Bihi Karoti Manam Bahuda Vibhuti Bihi, she is always serving the Lord and situated at the lotus feet of the Lord. श्रीर्यत्ररूपिणि उर्गाय पादयोः करोति मानं बहुधा विभूतिभिः. And then Prenkam Shritaya Kusumaguranugaihi. And that Prenkam, that is the moment of enjoyment when she is serving Prenkam Shritaya, that Shritaya, so taken shelter of who? That Kusumagura Anugaihi. So Kusumakara is the spring season. Anugaihi is who is followed by that spring season. These are generally the bumblebees, by the black bumblebees. Anugaihi, Kusumagura Anugaihi. They're also moving. So along with goddess of fortune. So they're all wearing so very beautiful garlands. And for them also they are also attracted. Bumblebees are attracted towards this, and also the movement is very enjoying moment of enjoyment. Prenkam Sritaya Kusmaguranagaihi Vigiyamana Priyakarma Gayati. Vigiyamana, being followed by the songs. And what kind of songs? So Priyakarma, the activities of the dearmost supreme personality of Godhead. So the Lord does all sweet pastimes he performs, very sweet. And here, goddess of fortune, she sings all such kind of things. Prikarma Gayati, she is singing all those pastimes. Like when Yashodama is singing, remembering Krishna's pastimes. Uh, Likewise, here, goddess of fortune is singing the glories of the Supreme Lord. Vigayamana Prikarma Gayati. श्रीर्यत्तरूपिणि मुरुगाय पादयोः करोति मानं बहुधा विभूतिभिः प्रेङ्कं सिताय कुसुमागुरानुगैः विगीयमान प्रियकर्म गायति. So translation for this verse. The goddess of fortune in her transcendental form is engaged in the loving service of the Lord's lotus feet. And being moved by the black bees, followed by followers of spring, she is not only engaged in variegated pleasure, service to the Lord, along with her constant companions, but is also engaged in singing the glories of the Lord's activities. So here, and when she keeps Lord's legs on her thighs, and then so there is again one more thing. One has to meditate on the Lord's legs as well. Janudvayam jala jalojanaya jananya lakshmya kilasya suravanditaya vidatuhu urvo nidaya karapallava rotishayan samlalitam hridi vibhora bhavasya kurya Janudvayam Jalajalochanaya Jananya. And so Jalajalochanaya Jananya. So this goddess of fortune with so much of beautiful lotus petal eyes, and what she does, Janudvayam, the two legs of the Lord, she keeps on her thighs. Vuru Nidaya Karapallava Rochishaya, and keep massaging the Lord's legs. Keep massaging. And so in that particular time, uh, Lakshma Kilasya Suravanditaya Vidatuhu, and all the demigods, inclusive of Brahma, Vidhatu. So he is headed, demigods are headed by Brahma. Everyone are worshipping the Lord and goddess of fortune at that time. She is keeping the Lord's lotus feet on her thighs. Vurvo Nidaya Karapallava Rocheshayat Samlalitam Hridi Vibhora Bhavasya Kuryat. She is massaging very gently. So one has to meditate on such kind of form. So this Kapil Bhagavan says that one. And here, and also goddess of fortune, Shri Rupini Kvanayati Charana Ravindam Leelambujena Harisadmani Mukta Dhosha Samlakshate Spatika Kujja Upeta Hemni Sammadhyati Vayadanagrahane Anyayatnaha. So in other times, so when she is Shri Rupini Kvanayati Charanaravindam Leelambujena Harisadmani Mukta Dhosha. She keeps the lotus flower in her hand. Kvanayati Charanaravindam. Shri Rupini Kvanayati Charanaravindam Leelambujena Harisadmani Mukta Dhosha. So without any tinge of material contamination in her heart, she is always trying to get the attraction of the Supreme Lord. By what? Samma Jativa Yadanagre. There are Spatika Kujja Upeta Hevni. Samlakshate Spatika Kujja Upeta Hevni. The walls of these palaces in the spiritual world, the palaces, they're all made with jewels and diamonds and everything else. Of course, there are also consciousness. How do we think that they are consciousness? So, for example, whenever we children are playing here, some children form together as a, okay, we will make as a circle, we are treated as a building. And some children are forming as like a tree. So, but children are consciousness. They are forming like a trees and forming like a buildings. Like here, the souls are also coming together as forming like a buildings. They're all consciousness. Nothing is, so everything is of nature of Brahman, eternity. So that is how we understand here. So here, Samlakshate Spatika Kudya Upeta Hemni. So here, goddess of fortune is trying to clean these walls. Of course, there is no dust there. And that is for what? Yadanagrahani, just to attract the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is the nature of, and here, and also the Lord says, Nashrihi Virakti Mepumam Ajahat yes, Ajahat Yasyaha Prekchala Vadite Niman Vahanti. Though I am not interested in the Lakshmi Devi. And so here, when the Lord is glorifying the Brahmanas, at the time he says, Nashrihi Viraktimam Ajahati Yasyaha Prekchala Itere Niman Vahanti. Though I am not interested in Lakshmi Devi, she is always serving me at my lotus feet. But some people, they wanted mercy of Lakshmi Devi. But I'm always thinking of my Brahmanas, my devotees and the Brahmanas. So I'm thinking of them. Yat sevaya charana padma pavitrayenu. So the Lord says, Tadjah punati chatakilamala pratilabdhaselam. Because the Lord, he says that I respect Brahmanas very much. I serve them, and I also take the dust of the Brahmana, feet of the Brahmanas on my head. Who else cannot wear such kind of dust? So such kind of me, I got such kind of respect now, and so that whoever thinks of me and the Ganges comes from my lotus feet, which is even worn by the Lord Shiva. But who else is not going to respect um, the Supreme Personality of Godhead and also the Brahmanas. So that the Brahmanas' glories are different. And here, when it comes to the Lakshmi Devi, so Lakshmi Devi, she is always engaged in my service, though I am not interested. Chalapya Shri Najahati Karhijit. And Lakshmi Devi, she is always chanchala. Chalapi yat srihi najahati karhichit. She never leaves the lotus feet of the Lord, even though she is chanchala in this material world. She keeps on moving from one place to another place. She is not at one place all the time. But here in the Dwaraka, how can these wives of Krishna, they can never live knowing that they also follow the goddess of fortune, because tasyapi tasyanguri yugam navam navam pade pade ka virameta yatpar. So all the time they are also experiencing so much happiness. Where? At the lotus feet of the Lord, and singing and glorifying the Lord. So Lakshmi Devi is engaged always at the lotus feet of the Lord. See, everyone are all are goddess of fortunes looking at only the Krishna. Such a attractive personality. So somewhere or other, just thinking and then closing their eyes and singing one song like that, different pastimes. Of course, there everyone are poetic, all knowledge, because they are all knowledge. They sing all kinds of rhymes and songs from, especially from the scriptural point of view, Samaveda. Samaveda, the songs, even the Garuda is going and in flapping wings. So at that time, there also from that sound also Samaveda hymns comes. And here the Samaveda contains so many of beautiful songs glorifying the Lord. Here all these devotees, they're singing the glories of the Lord here. So likewise, Sukdev Goswami describing Shri Yatrupini Urigaya Padayoha Karoti Manam Bahuda Vibhuti प्रेङ्कं श्रिताय कुसुमावरानगैः विगीयमान प्रियकर्म गायते. Very, very beautiful. So likewise, there are different kinds of pictures we see when the Lord is lying on the Adishesha, Lakshmi Devi is massaging his feet and all the demigods and worshipping him. So some of the pictures goes like this is Lakshmi Devi and the Lord, and then so this is one of the picture, Lakshmi Devi and the Lord sitting on the Ananta, and there are other pictures of it. Okay, so here Lakshmi Devi again worshipping always at the lotus feet. So this is the Shri-Yatrupini Urugaya Padayoha Karoti Manam Bahda Vibhudibihi Uro Nidaya Karapallavaro Samlalitum Priti Vibhora Bhavasya Kuriyat. This is that Kuriyat. She is doing massaging the legs of the Lord. Lord is always enjoying. Hasavalokakalaya Ramayam cha Vishwam. Just by his smile, he attracts all this world universe. Okay. Okay, and so that's why he keeps the goddess of fortune on his chest as the Srivatsa. Adishita Vaduhu Anamali Budara. So this is very generously he keeps goddess of fortune on his chest. When he is Krishna, Krishna also have that mark Srivatsa symbols on his chest. Goddess of fortune. Okay, so likewise, Sukadeva Goswami is beautifully describing about all these things. That is Sri Rupiniyatri Urgaya Padayoho Karoti Manam Bahudha Vibhutibihi Prinkam Sritaya Kusmaguranugai Vigiyamana Priyakarma Gayati, all beautiful pastimes. Okay, so that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. We shall quickly move into Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. Okay, so today letter to Tamala Krishna, May 15th, 1970, Los Angeles. Can I request this one we did already. Okay. To letter to Bhagwan Das, so May 16, 1970, Los Angeles. Can I request Usha Mataji please to read this letter?
Yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna. My dear Bhagwan Das, please accept my blessings. I beg to acknowledge receipt of your contribution of $200 sent through Gargamuni. Thank you very much. I hope everything is going well with you in Detroit Temple. Perhaps by now you have received my invitation to visit our LA temple at your convenience. Please offer my blessings to your good wife, Krishna Pamni Dasi, and your son, Vaishnava Das. I hope this will meet you all in good health. Your ever well-wisher, Ishitakedan Swami, Swami Srila Prabhupada Ji Jai.
Jai. Okay, Mataji. Any takeaway point, Mataji?
Uh, Sorry, Prabhupada here is sending invitation to Bhagwan Das and said you can visit the LA temple, and he received the money who sent that to the Gargamuni. So he's thanking for that, and he's giving the blessing to, yes, that his wife and the son. It's not much information, Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Okay, that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. And again, Prabhupada is inquiring, is everything going well with you? Likewise, um, it is the spiritual masters, they're inquiring sometimes, is everything going well? Because if you're, once we are initiated, and if you are not following these regulative principles, and chanting of Hare, especially chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra 16 rounds every day and following the regulative principles. When we are performing these things, then because we took this initiation and we make our vows in front of the fire god, and the fire god saying that we follow these things, and if we lose these things, if we do not follow, then we indirectly not respecting the spiritual master, we lose our value. And also because the spiritual master, he has given initiation with so much of compassionate and the living entity or the souls, conditioned souls. We have to take this as an advantage. And sometimes spiritual master inquires, how are you doing? How are you doing? How is your family doing? How is your wife? How is your children? Is your devotional service going well? Is your health well? If they're not doing well, then indirectly it would also affect the spiritual master's bodily things. So some devotees, I think sometimes during the Prabhupada's leaving of his body, during that time one of the devotee was mentioning to this, everyone are doing for worshipping you, but they were not following the instructions that you have given, like that. But one has to have so much of respect to the spiritual master. We should not neglect at any point of time. Getting the guru is very, very important in our life. If we disrespect spiritual master, we do not know whether we would get a spiritual master again in the next lives or not. So this is the, it is mentioned in all the scriptures. Bhakti, Brahmande Brahmite Kona Kona Bhagyavan Jiva, who is the most fortunate out of wandering so many souls in this Guru Krishna Krupaya Paya Bhakti Lata Bheja, who has got a Guru and Krishna with having devotional seed in the heart. He is the most fortunate. So that is the verdict of the Shastras. Acharya mam vijaniya na avamanyet karechet namatya buddha asuyeta sarvadeva mayo guruhu. Krishna says that one. Sarvadeva mayo guruhu. Guru is the Sarvadeva Maya. In his body, all the devas are existing. This is Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Saksh, Guru Deva Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. He is the direct representative of the Lord. He is as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sometimes Prabhupada says he is more than the Supreme Personality of Godhead because he gives the Supreme Personality of God to everyone. We need to treat him like a more than Supreme Personality of Godhead because he is giving the Supreme Personality of Godhead to everyone without any restrictions, but we have to take it with so much of respect. Sometimes Acharya checks us whether are you doing well, like that. He offers blessings to for our entire family. Okay, so not only family, everyone. He is always compassionate. Okay, that is my takeaway point as well from this letter. Thank you, Mataji. And any other comments, dear devotees, you wanted to mention? Okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. And from the announcements point of view, so today is Wednesday. We have got Kirtan evening at 8:30 p.m. And dear devotees, kindly join to sing the glories of the Lord. Like Lakshmi Devi, goddess of fortune, she is always singing. Vigayamana Priyakarma Gayati. We also become one of those Jana, Gopi Jana, to sing the glories of the Lord and learn how to sing and different songs. And devotees, senior devotees, they bring different new songs. And as soon as though it may not be, we do not know or we do not know how to sing, but keep hearing, then even though the bitter, what is that, neem leaves, they are very bitter. But if you are keep on eating and eating, at the end, we feel so sweet. Likewise, initially, Tadagre Vishamiva Parinami Amrutopamam. Initially, it is like a Vishamiva, that is like a poison, but at the end, it is Amrutam. Parinami Amrutopamam. That is in the mode of goodness, and it is especially transcendental. So, though we don't know, kindly join us and then we'll sing. Though it is a bit hard, but at least hearing is also wonderful. And where we will get to taste the songs of the devotees. And then later on, this is the most important, very easy and most, all the time we speak on philosophy, but philosophy, how long we would keep on speaking philosophy? We need to engage in deriving the pleasure in while singing and glorifying the Lord. And on the other day, yesterday, I think Sita Sundari Mataji shared some video from the Soho temple. So beautifully the Prabhuji was singing. So likewise, the heart moves when the devotees are singing. Heart moves. But when does that heart move? When we know the philosophy. When we don't know the philosophy and understanding that how great God is, then when the songs are happening and we are hearing, then all these things can come into picture and work, and they will move your heart with the flow. You're not simply doing like a just like you're not pretending, because you know the philosophy, you know the glories of the Lord. You are moving like that. एवं स्वप्रिय नाम कीर्त्या जातानुरागुद्रसचित्त उच्चैः हसति अतो रोदिति रौति उन्मादवत् नृत्यति लोकबाह्यः. You do not care about anything. You simply dance, you simply laugh, you simply cry for the Lord. That is why we need the knowledge of the from Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. So while singing in the evening, you would experience, but it would gradually come. So our devotees sing very beautifully. So it is at 8:30 p.m. Okay, that is from the announcements point of view. And on weekend, on Saturday, We have got Chaitanya Charitamrita session with the Krishna Keshav Prabhuji at 7 p.m. Those are our upcoming events. And dear devotees, if you have got any other updates or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness, kindly share. Hare Krishna. Okay. So if there are no updates, then we shall conclude and continue with further japa. पञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः
वैष्णववृंद की
अनन्तकोटिवैष्णववृन्द
जय,
शिल प्रभुपाद की
प्रभुपाद की जय।
Have a Krishna
Hare
conscious day,
Krishna.
everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri